Thrill me. Thrill me. Thrill me. Thrill me.
Thrill me. You are watching Death Curse Society. I'm Tom Atkins. If you don't keep watching Death Curse Society, I will come and do things to you.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Monday Maniacs from Death Curse Society. I'm Red Crank. This is Zigzag. And...
the Colonel is on assignment.
I love that you say that every week.
Well...
It's funny. It's funny to me, at least.
It just takes, take a couple weeks to build up into that.
Yeah.
He's busy. He's got a doubleheader today with softball with the daughter. So, go team, go Colonel.
Oh, man. I have been busy this last week. Things are coming together, folks. As many of you know,
one way to look at it, yeah. One way to say it.
Yep. As many of you know, we are heading out soon in July out to Albuquerque, New Mexico for the Morgue and Crypt Horror Fest. And we are going to be producing an edition of Curse Your Luck live on a stage in front of a studio audience. Yes. And these lovely things came in today.
Oh, there you go. Official game show buzzers, folks. That's how fucking serious we're getting with this shit. You hearing me?
They're pretty cool. Nuts. I got the little clicky noise. They light up, or I think they light up. And then they signify who logs in first. So we don't have to do it by the eye.
Yeah.
Like
no more camera. Here. Turn your cameras and mics off, or your
Well, we'll have to do that here, but
yes,
the live version. Yeah, we're not going to ship these out to every contestant before.
I was worried too about like some baby Huey coming in there and don't know his own strength. You slam. We're gonna have to put like a pillow over that thing or some kind of make a little pad for it or something.
I'm surprised you didn't just knock like some of the paintings off your wall. Well, now they look pretty sturdy so far. I mean, yeah, they're good so far. I'm gonna try. Hopefully tomorrow, if I have some free time tomorrow, I'm gonna try to just set up like everything that I've gotten so far, and hook it up the way it's gonna almost have to be hooked up in Albuquerque.
Even if you did a couple of them, it'd be neat just to see.
I'm gonna set everything up just to see what works.
Then if something is wrong, we should get it right. Get the other one in the mail right away. So yeah.
Well, and then we'll do a full test in Texas when we're all together at Texas Frightmare.
That should be fun. Maybe we'll even maybe we can shoot some. That'll be our middle of the night broadcast. A little Curse Your Luck tester game. If you're interested to see how the live action might work. I don't know. We'll see.
That could be a members only thing for sure.
Yeah.
Ziggy, how was your week?
Ditto, man. Just fucking busy, crazy. Just, this is consuming every free moment I have now. I mean, it's this last week, Crank 2. But we realize we have a shit ton of fucking work to get done to make this thing fucking work in a killer tits kick-ass way. And that's all we will accept. So we will do what it takes to make sure we deliver on that. And it's taking right now a big pile of money and a whole lot of pricing and checking shit out and talking to people, and actually called the venue just to see what kind of internet they had. You know what I mean? So we can make a decision on how we're going to get these people registered for this game quickly, so we're not fucking around and wasting time. Man, this is all these things we never had to deal with before. But I love it. Don't get me wrong. I to see this thing coming alive is absolutely, as aggravating as it is, it's fucking fascinating.
It's as Tom Atkins would say, it's thrilling.
It's thrilling. I'm thrilled.
Yeah.
And we're chasing down prizes for this thing too. And I'm gonna say this, we even went. We're leaving no stone unturned, and we even turned to our old boy Angelo here just to see what would it cost to get some giveaways, paintings, your paintings to give away as big prizes in this contest. And in the end, we just couldn't get it in budget. As much as we want to do it, we're just not that level yet where we got that kind of disposable cheese to throw away on prizes like that. So, sorry. Not to mention, we got some good stuff lined up, but nothing that kick-ass. I mean, not like these paintings here. However, that didn't stop us. I mean, getting all this together and throwing ideas back and forth, and Crank's been after one for a long time. So we're going to be putting Angelo to work with some new pieces just for our own private collection. So I'm excited about that because he's into it too. When I told him what I wanted, he went, "Oh." He's like, "It's funny you say that. I got this whole idea for this thing, and it's exactly one of the scenes I was like, God, yes, just stop. Just." He's like, "I'll start laying out the background tonight." I was like, "Great, cool." So yeah. So we'll be having some new Angelo artwork out here within the next weeks and months here coming up.
Yeah. And I sent him one today. I finally pulled the fucking trigger and was just like, "Here, go, play. Let me know what you come up with."
He's going to come back to you and tell you what he's thinking.
Yeah.
And that's where it gets fun because.
And then I'm just gonna start throwing it out.
Yeah, and it's fine. I mean, it's so.
I'm hoping to get this first one before Frightmare, and then I'll probably order another one right after for July.
Got like a 7-week window from there.
Yeah. So, yeah. Oh, it's gonna be. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm so excited right now. And
summer's gonna be. It's like, as George Costanza would say, the summer of DCS. That's what we're doing here.
The summer of George.
It's fucking great. I love it.
Yeah. I got a couple other things that we've been cooking in the books. Well, one thing in the books finally that we may mention. I may mention at the end of the show. I haven't even told Ziggy about this yet, but something came to be today. So.
Well, hey, I'm not. Yeah, anything's possible. I don't know.
You're not sure. You're not sure.
I can speculate, but I won't because that'll just spoil it if I'm right.
That would spoil it.
Yeah.
But yeah, stick around to the end, and we may have a future show announcement.
There goes my internet. Oh, here it comes.
It's you've been kind of frozen, but you're still speaking, so that's good. We got Tyrone in here. We got FaZe. We got Tanya. FaZe even says, "We all missed the Colonel." I'm assuming FaZe is just now getting out of the theater and back to the hacienda.
Yeah.
And BK's here. Kiara's here. She says, "Just bought my ticket to meet David Howard Thornton in June. I'm gonna cry." Excellent.
He's the coolest.
You will love it.
You will have your own very much personalized photo if you're getting one with him. So he's the best.
Yeah, he's one of the great guys to meet at the convention. Be prepared to stand in line though.
Yeah, it's funny because before
his lines are triple what they were last year.
Before it came out, I've been seeing Dave, or Damien and David show up at different cons around, in Michigan. He's been to a few of them already since 2019. And there's 1-2 people. Now they have like the big celebrity queue lines like the amusement parks you go to.
Yep.
It sucks, but well worth the wait. And
Good for
by the
you.
way,
Good for
Terrifier
you,
2
Kiara.
panel from Whorehound should be available this week for the general public. So check that out, deathcursesociety.com, if you feel so inclined.
That is right. That is right. That was something else I was going to mention too. And there's Carrie. She says, "Hey, beautiful people.
Boy.
The announcement is not that we're coming to see you. Not yet."
Yeah, the UK. I just say, you never know where this journey is going to take us, and we will look at every offer and opportunity. If it takes us to England, I would fucking love it, because I think we could get down and dirty in England, man, have a good time.
Now, if Curse Your Luck takes us over the pond, okay,
We're bringing it.
Let's go.
We're bringing
These will ship.
Yeah.
I can't drive there.
Right.
I will have to fly.
We'll be renting some gear if this occurrence happens.
Oh, we just have to ship it, man. There might be 4 or 5 boxes of stuff that we just ship and then pick up
Scary, man.
when we get off the plane, hopefully.
That'll be negotiated in the deal.
In the rider.
You
Right.
pay for all shipping of equipment.
There we go. Yep. And FaZe does say, yep, just got back about 5 minutes ago from seeing Renfield. Got back just in time. That's right. We're going to do our full in-depth review of Renfield here in just a few minutes. But, we gotta chat and catch up.
Yeah.
And do all that stuff first. And we got to do our shout-out to our members, of course. If you want to figure out how to become a member, check out our website at deathcursesociety.com. And, find one of the tiers that you are comfortable with. We don't want to break your bank. And then sign up and help us out. Maybe we will get over the pond a little sooner. But
Right.
thanks to our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorena, Christy, Luke, Charles, Tanya, and Tyrone, our crazy Ralph Raymond, and our camp counselor, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, Canada Dave, and JJ. Thank you, guys. And gals, of course. Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
So, there were 3 horror movies that dropped in theaters this week.
Indeed.
Or this weekend. There was Renfield, which we're going to talk about. There was The Pope's Exorcist with Russell Crowe. And there was also a movie called Nefarious. I had heard nothing about this movie, but it just popped up in my AMC app as I was looking for something to do on, I think, Sunday. And I was like, you know what? I got all day. I'm kind of calmed down from the weekend. I'm just going to go sit in the movie theaters for 4.5, 5 hours. And I ended up watching Nefarious and The Pope's Exorcist back to back. I will say this about those 2 films. Nefarious, wait until it's free.
Yeah.
Wait until it's free. It's not worth going to a theater to see. There's not much to it. I'm not saying it's a terrible movie, but it is below average. It's basically a conversation between a guy who's on death row hours before his execution and a psychiatrist that is there to deem him fit for his execution because the convict is saying he's possessed by a demon now. So I think it could have been a better stage play than anything else, but that's just me. Have you heard about this one, Ziggy?
I have, and I did see the clip, and it almost seemed like they gave away most of the like the crazy shit that was going to go down when he started, like like revealing things he knew personally about, what I mean, the guy that's supposed to be debunking him. So yeah, I that was one I was thinking, yeah, when it hits the streamers, we'll see.
When it's free, check it out. But well, you don't even have to check it out when it's free. But do not pay for this. The other one, Pope's Exorcist, though, entertaining, not bad at all. Your standard Exorcist fare. Russell Crowe plays the real father well. And if this does well enough, I see this as a possible franchise. So stay tuned for The Pope's Exorcist Book 2 in 2025.
I don't
Just
know.
a thought. So
I've heard mixed bag on that one. So
right. All right, but that's not what we're talking about today.
No.
We are going to be talking about. Let's see if this works because I played around with this today. We're going to talk. Oh yeah, it fits. Woo.
first of all, I need to start approving all photos we take before.
I love
What is
this
going
one.
on here, man?
I'm trying to.
My
choke
chin is
you.
gone. My neck is folded up into like 4 sheets here. I don't know what the fuck happened there. I mean, we're
I'm
posing.
trying to choke you. That's what's going on.
Yes, I know that, but I don't know. I didn't realize my chin and face would regress into my neck like that. I don't know what's going on. I'm going on a diet immediately. Neck push-ups, whatever the fuck, Adam's apple, fucking. I don't know.
Well,
Something.
now
here.
I don't. Now I
that's
don't want
gross.
the poster. I don't want the poster to be right there now.
Yes, put it up. Put it up
no,
immediately.
I'm going to move it over a little bit. I think I'll
Curse.
move it over.
Curse this StreamYard and its new customizable layouts. God damn it.
But no,
Yeah, that's
we're
the
gonna.
last time I don't approve. It's the second time you threw an unflattering shot of me out here.
Dude, I don't know. We took the pictures.
Obviously, I don't care.
I picked the fun ones, and
I was just amazed. I was like, what the fuck happened to my... Did he Photoshop that? I was like, no, he didn't.
no, that's not photoshopped.
That's
I'm not that
neck
good.
fat and looking at the phone too much right there is what that is. Damn. What a drag it is getting old.
I'm not that good at Photoshop. I could not. I don't. Think
Yeah,
I
that's
could do it.
amazing fat rolls, isn't it?
Yeah, those
Okay.
are so realistic.
See,
Anyway.
next one you see, I'll be choking him for real. So when we get in the same room together, so yeah, stay by for that.
Stand by for new photos. All right. Hold on. We got a comment. We got a Neil Dano says, I missed something. Did Colonel retire? No, he's just got some family requirements going on right now. Well, you know,
All you need
Dano.
to say, the Colonel is on assignment.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, baseball. It's baseball season. That's all.
You guys got track season up there with your kid.
Yeah.
So, who sounds like did very well last week. Congratulations to them. And so, yeah, that's what he's doing. He's being the concerned sports dad out in the stands. So, Carrie says, if you ship here, I need that Pride shirt.
Sure.
I think it ships there. I don't know how expensive it is, though.
Well, I'll just say this: when maybe they have a better rate at where we do our printing, but when we had a Canadian fan back when I had all the shirts and I was sending them out myself, and the motherfucker was like, cost more than the shirt to ship it to Canada. It was like $31 for shipping or something. I mean, it was ridiculous.
Yeah.
So,
I would say check the shop in the website.
yeah.
And just go through part of the process. But if the shipping calculation looks outrageous,
I'll figure it out.
don't
Just
hit
come back
purchase.
to us direct. I'll get one done, and we'll send it that way,
Well,
just direct or something.
it's easier that way.
Yeah.
So let her try that first.
Right. That's what I
And
said
then-
too. It's
yeah.
easier if she does it, and gets it done.
So,
And if there's no hiccups, you're fine. If there is, we'll figure something out.
right. All right. Renfield, folks, in theaters now. Tells the story of Renfield, Dracula's henchman, an inmate at the lunatic asylum for decades, longs for a life away from the Count, his various demands, and all of the bloodshed that comes with them. Directed by Chris McKay and written by Ryan Ridley, and I didn't know this until the end credits, Robert Kirkman. Did you catch that at the end there?
I did. I was
Ziggy?
going like, oh, Walking Dead guy.
Yeah. First impressions there, Ziggy.
It looked dark comedy is what I thought when I saw the trailers and everything. I mean, just based on in the trailer, you see him in a support meeting for, people that have been stepped on and shit on in their relationships and whatnot. So that's what I expected. I go, okay, we're going to get some comedy here. But then I started hearing like there's a fair amount of gore in this. And wow, there really is. Albeit 98% CGI, maybe 100%. It's not bad though. I mean, it did look. Some of it looks good. Some of them look pretty dumb. I mean, you can tell it's just a big fake splash. But they didn't hold back on the gore and the blood, which I always appreciate. And probably this definitely boosted my end score when we get to it in the end. But I was entertained by this. This movie wasn't as bad as I thought it was going to be. I fucking loved seeing Nick Cage look like Bela Lugosi. That was amazing. You know, I mean, they kind of do a little history thing, but I mean, there's a lot. It's not really carried by Nick Cage. You know what I'm saying? It's not really. It's not his movie. Yeah, he's Dracula and everything, but in the end, man, it's an entertaining ride, and I found myself chuckling more than I wasn't at the joke. So I mean, it's a fun ride. I think it's a good watch. I think you'll like it.
Let me ask you this: the
Yeah.
gore is pretty cartoonish. Did that bother you? Or
No,
was that,
because
did it fit?
it perfectly fits the overall tone of the movie. So it's silly. It's not serious at all. Even though there are some serious, heavy, kind of intentional heavy moments supposed to be based on what's happening,
Mhm.
it fits. I mean, it's very silly in the goriest, bloodiest kind of way, and that saves it a bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Hold on. Something about this I don't like. Let me try this one. There we go. There we go. That's better. That's better. It covers up the logo a little bit, but I didn't.
Rather
hit it.
cover the
Just-
logo than my 3 chins, 4 chins.
I like that picture, man. I think it's funny. I didn't notice your chins. I just think it's
I never
funny,
saw
but-
it. I like the picture too. I remember we took it, but I never went around and checked the shit out. And of course, my good friends, nobody. I'm sure everybody saw that and went, "Oh fuck!" Much like that one where I'm kind of look like I'm farting, and the one when we took in Cincinnati out on the deck. Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean. That's what I'm saying. You're fucking picking the shittiest ones, and I will.
Dude!
You are dead. When I get to Dallas, I'm stabbing you with an ice pick.
All of these pictures have been sitting in our Google Drive.
Like any of us have any
For
time to
your
go look
approval.
at any of that shit.
I do all the time. I'm in Google Drive every day. I'm in ClickUp every day, unlike every 2 weeks like you guys are.
I know, man. I think I was going down that list today, going, okay, I can skip that one, that one's canceled, that one's good. Okay,
That
these don't have to be dealt with immediately, but I will look at them.
All right.
Yes.
Good. All right. My first impressions of this film were, yeah, this was going to be stupid but fun. I thought, but intentionally stupid in its way. And I liked the fact that it wasn't Nicolas Cage's movie, because I knew he was going to show up and chew the shit out of the scenery, which he does. And the scenes that he was going to be in were primarily going to be overtaken by his character, which deservedly they were, and he does okay with. This is one of those roles where I don't mind his tone of overacting as much as I do in other films. This one, the overacting kind of works. So don't you do it.
I just saw that. I was like, oh, there it is.
But yeah, I enjoyed this one, and fuck you, I'm fixing this right now.
Fuck you!
Just delete the other one right now so you can't get to it. But yeah, first impressions, I like this a whole hell of a lot more than I thought I would. And because I was middle of the road on it at the beginning, but I thought I would appreciate it for some of its stuff, but I like this a lot more than I thought I would. Maybe I'm lightening my touch on horror comedies because I didn't used to like them.
It's a little smarter than Slacks.
Oh, God.
And honestly, it's a lot of this I have to put on the characters, and it's funny. It seems like when you're looking at the personalities don't really match what you're looking at to me at first, but it's so good, you know, when I'm speaking of the cop, you know.
Yeah.
And she's just the badass, and I love her. You know, she's probably my favorite one of the whole thing.
There were some points of her that got a little irritating, I guess you could say. Yeah, Rebecca, played by Aquafina, who I've never heard of. I don't know who that is.
Good water.
I don't think that's
Oh,
what it's a reference to, but I could be wrong. I don't know. And well, tell me a little more about what you liked about her.
I loved her. You know, she's a little stumpy, short. You know, she has no neck really, and just dumpy. You think she'd just be just a pushover and stuff, and she's like walking around telling everyone to go fuck themselves, and it's just she's big. Her personality is much bigger than the person you're looking at, and I thought that was cool. It didn't match. I liked it.
Fuck you, Todd, or whatever his name
Kyle.
was.
Yeah, everybody. That's the
you,
joke
Kyle.
in this. Fuck you, Kyle. Poor Kyle in this. But I mean, I dug it, man. I dug that at the beginning, like when they were setting it up. They just kind of give you a brief, how did we get here, kind of thing, and that's what was really really cool. And it kind of sets the tone. And if that doesn't get you in the first like 10 minutes of this movie, it's probably you're not going to like it.
Right. That was one of the scenes that I did really appreciate was the opening setup, because it kind of starts with placing Nicolas Cage's Dracula in other scenes that we've seen over time.
Bela Lugosi.
Right. Like you mentioned. Yeah.
Yes.
You know, doing that whole line about I never drink wine.
Why?
You know,
Yeah,
you know that kind of stuff. And I appreciated that, and the fact that they shot it in the old time footage, looking, squeeze the screen in a little bit.
Yeah, I wasn't I had to really double take that, because I was going, okay, did they just stick Cage's face over Lugosi there? But I
think they reshot it.
I think he was really dressed that way.
Yeah,
and he looks damn good as that particular version.
Yeah, that part actually worked for me, and then of course, I've gone on record as saying I'm a fan of Nicolas Hoult. He is the lead character, Renfield. And let's...
Warm Bodies.
Since I'm mentioning it, Kiara says, I need to see this because it has my husband, one of my favorite actors, Nicolas Hoult. Had a crush on him since Warm Bodies. Yes.
He's better in this than he was in Warm Bodies. I think.
I really like Warm Bodies, too.
I do, too, but I just thought, then again, he's not a fucking zombie, so.
Right. But, I thought he was able to carry this movie. And I thought his character really played well with the support group, especially. And as you've seen in the trailer, if you've seen the trailers, Renfield wants to get out of a toxic relationship. It's pretty buzzword filled with, mental health issues and stuff like that. But I don't want to detract too much from this. But I did like the way that it dealt with those issues, still in a comedic way, but not minimizing the need for them. Are you all right over there? You need a new cameraman?
My fucking cord system down here is all disheveled and it's spinning my shit around.
Okay, but
my neck.
I thought they handled, joking about support groups and joking about the mental health, issues in our world today. I thought they handled that well, and didn't just laugh it off like it used to be. Would you agree with that, Ziggy?
Oh yeah, Dracula is a huge gaslighter. 100%. I think that's very much was written that way to relate it to modern times. Mm-hmm. So absolutely, 100%. That's the whole thing about it. Right. When he goes to those meetings and you see all those people, and that's I guess I could say this. That's kind of his premise. He's Dracula's assistant, so he's in charge of getting the meals lined up.
Sure.
So what he does is he goes to these kind of support groups, and he feels bad for the people that are in there. They got fucked up from everybody, so he goes after those people that fucked with them to feed to Dracula. Excellent plot point, But doesn't really hang too much on that. You know what I mean? It doesn't. Right away, it gets thrown off of that right away. Mm-hmm. But great premise. great
Right.
setup. And if it would have went that way for a little while, I would have been cool with that.
Did you feel okay with Nicolas Hoult's performance as Renfield?
Yeah, He was. I'd say he's likable. He's very likable in this. So I mean, and you're rooting for him. You are definitely rooting for him to get what he wants in this ride here. So
Okay.
yeah, I dug him. He's very strong, delivers. Performance is really good. And just having him interact with Dracula the times they do, and you see the manipulations happening between those two is what okay, this is this
It
is
helps
his movie.
sell this.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps sell the story a little bit.
Yeah.
We do have an opposing viewpoint. Wouldn't be our show if we didn't. Charles says it was just too wishy-washy. Too many issues, but Cage stole the show. I think Cage stole some scenes. I wouldn't say he stole the show, but I think he definitely stole majority of the scenes he was in. But that's what you get when you hire Nick Cage. They wanted that, I think. I mean,
when Dracula visits his new quarters, and he shows up, he's like, "Oh, come on in. I've been expecting you." And then he looks like, "What the fuck?" He looks down, and then he's got a welcome mat out in front of his house that says, "Welcome, come on in."
right.
So he's in his fucking house. He's like, "Fuck, shit." But that particular, I thought that's my favorite scene with Cage, because just the way he was like, you're on your way right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Then what? He's on this.
Their interaction. Yeah, their interaction in that scene was really good.
Fantastic. It's good.
Yeah.
Because he's like, he ditched him. He totally ditches him, and then
Oh yeah, no, he's trying to move on. It's like he's like the girlfriend that moves out of the house and takes some of her shit with her and gets another apartment, and then oh no, the narcissistic boyfriend is there waiting for you. Happens way too often.
And then you got a whole there's like a mob thread happening at the same time.
Yeah,
That's interesting because I better wait on that. I'm gonna wait.
But that wasn't really indicated in any of the trailers.
No.
And Ben Schwartz, the guy that plays Teddy Lobo. I love this guy. I can't remember the show he was on a while back. I think it was a Showtime show, but it was funny as shit about the advertising agency or whatever. I've been a fan of his since then, but the mob idea or the mob plot line kind of came out of nowhere, but it didn't kill the movie for me. I'll put it that way.
No, because
it worked.
For me, it works because you almost get into that okay, so because she says at one point, the main cop, our hero, I don't know who I can trust on my own team. And her sister happens to be in the FBI across the hall. So, I mean, red herrings galore again. You're suspecting everybody involved here. And then you get to find out who's who in the end, of course. But it's a nice compliment to the story. It doesn't distract from it. It actually adds to it. And there's a whole reason for it, for the mob being involved and even Dracula taking an interest in the mob. Imagine that fucking movie.
Right. It briefly kind of, started to remind me of that movie we watched not too long ago, Witness Infection. Because of the mob ties, but I think this was a whole lot better. I don't know why, but I think it was. House of Lies, that was the show he was in that I was trying to think of.
House of Lies.
Yeah. I think it was a Showtime show, but pretty cool show. Faye says he's maybe a 6.5 or a 7 for me. Are you talking about Hoult? Or are you talking about... Yeah, you must be talking about Hoult, because then he says, Cage was wonderful. They did a pretty good job at timing his scenes to catch the viewer back after some mildly boring scenes. Okay, yeah. All right. I got you there. This question doesn't have anything to do with the movie, but I think it's a quick answer. Jay wants to know peanut butter and grape or strawberry?
Jay. Always grape.
Always grape. Cannot stand strawberry jam.
Listen, I'll tell you what. When I was a kid, my dad used to make fresh strawberry preserves where it was just like a syrup almost.
Mm-hmm.
That shit was amazing, but any others, nothing compares to it.
Not with peanut butter, though.
No, it was good. It was real sweet. There was a lot of sugar in it, so it was.
Maybe on like a biscuit or something, or a roll. Or,
you put it on French toast with
French toast.
All kinds of shit like that with butter. But, I mean, yeah, anyway, but yeah, grape jelly, Jay. Try to derail the whole fucking Renfield.
Yeah. Grape jelly.
Grape. And it's, not jelly. It's grape jam. You got to get the jam. The jam spreads better. The jelly is like phlegm and shit, man. It just keeps rolling around the bread.
It doesn't matter to me. I'm a jelly guy myself, but that's just me.
You are a jelly guy.
Peanut butter jelly time. And FaZe agrees. Always grape, indeed. Duarte is here. He says Cage always plays Cage, playing a character. Yeah.
Yeah, this is Nick Cage. There's no question. But, I mean, let's face it. Nick Cage has something. He has that it thing that it doesn't matter what he does. You want to watch him. And I feel this way anyway. I mean, even when he shows up and it doesn't matter. It's like, there's Nick Cage, and what's he going to do? I want to know. I'm interested in Nick Cage. I don't know what it is, but I still always considered him like a top-tier star, even though he's fallen way down over the years.
Well, but he seems like he's on kind of a comeback, though, because, I mean, he's been doing, 6 shitty small movies a year, trying to pay the taxes back, it seems like.
But look what it did for him. It kind of turned him into this cult chameleon kind of thing, and it's Mandy and all this crazy shit and
Color Out of Space.
Color Out of Space.
Yeah, yep. Color Out of Space. Willy's Wonderland.
This is fucking This is pretty tame compared to some of the last few he's done. I mean,
but this is one of the bigger studio projects he's done in a long time.
Yeah, he probably gets to, he must be paid off. He can keep the money again. The money's his again. So now he's going to go back to those big studio films. But the point is, Nick Cage, in my eyes, is a star, and I guess I want to see him. I mean, and it's always he always looks the same and kind of acts the same, but there's just something about him. I don't know what it is.
Favorite Nick Cage movie?
Face Off. Or The Rock.
Yeah, I was going to say either The Rock or Con Air, but I think I would lean slightly more towards Con Air for me.
Con Air is pretty good too, but I just like Face Off just because he's such a douchebag, you know what I mean? And then just seeing Nick Cage play John Travolta, I fucking dug that shit, man. And Travolta, that was cool. It was
kind of funny.
Castor fucking Troy.
I watched that not too long ago, actually. It's been a couple months, but
it doesn't hold up too well, but it's still entertaining.
It's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Wasn't that John Woo?
I think it is. It was,
John Woo at his oh yep, there we go. Duarte, Face Off for sure. John Woo, baby.
Yeah, that was when they were making all those fucked up movies just about nothing, and it was like, you had Jean-Claude Van Damme in a fucking Pittsburgh Penguins Stanley Cup playoff before the bomb goes off in the third period. All kinds of goofy adventure movies and action movies like that really came out of nowhere, but were pretty entertaining.
Hey, James, I cannot show your message, but James, congratulations. We will be shipping you a poster later this week. Thanks for tuning in, man. I'll get a hold of you and get your address right after the show, man, or maybe tomorrow. But I'll be in touch.
The magic words?
He did.
Wow.
All right.
See if anybody else has done their due diligence.
Yep. There he is. There's James. Thank you, guys. Yeah, absolutely, man. Thank you for paying attention and tuning in and following us on TikTok and all that. Carrie says, Gone in 60 Seconds, as it's Ford Mustang's birthday today. Oh, that's true. I did see something about that.
All right.
Wow.
If Colonel was here, he'd say moonlighting or whatever the hell, you know. Oh no. That's not it. Moonlighting was the Bruce Willis show. What was the one with Cher and Nick Cage?
Moonstruck.
Moonstruck. That's the one.
Moonlight.
Much
Moonstruck.
pot,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Too much pot.
Then I started thinking Peggy Sue got married. I was like, fuck. Wasn't he in that too?
Yes.
He was.
Best serious role though, Leaving Las Vegas by far.
Oh fuck.
Yeah, that shit. As soon as I say it, boom, BK. That's if you're okay with being just depressed for 2 hours.
That's dude.
Fuck.
I love that movie, but I can't fucking watch it because I feel like ass when I'm done watching it. It's like you know what? It doesn't matter. I'm going to bed. It's only 4:00. I don't care. I'll see you tomorrow.
Yep. I'm gonna go curl up under the blankets and suck my thumb for 2 hours.
Do 18 shots and go to bed.
There's the 18 shots. There we go. We need a game with that.
18 shots.
18 shots. Damn it. Now I want to watch Leaving Las Vegas.
Elizabeth
Shue.
Is that Shue? Yeah, it's Shue. Yeah. Mm.
All right, enough of the Nicolas Cage.
All right,
walk
yeah.
down
See what
memory
I'm
lane.
saying? This is Nicolas Cage, man. That's what he does to you. All right.
But that's the thing. He has had so many roles that we know and love. I am kind of surprised no one mentioned Raising Arizona. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan, but that seems to be always one that pops up.
Because you look at him, in that movie, and dude, what a fucking bizarre playing that character that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, but it's just glorious. And fuck, that was just a few years after he was just a nobody when he was still Nicholas Coppola in Fast Times making hamburgers in a 4-second scene, you know?
Right. All right. What do you want to talk about with Renfield? You got a area that you liked that you want to discuss?
You know, I mean, obviously the favorite part was just the quick catch up when they were just showing him through the years, getting to the modern times, and how it's kind of just a repeating pattern where he rises to full power, and then the good guys show up and almost defeat him, and then Renfield's got to step in and save him again, rebuild him. You know, it's the vicious cycle, and we start again. You know, like every 100 years or so, it's like this routine happens, and I dug that.
And the makeup in the beginning was pretty good when he was like damaged,
burnt. Yeah, he was burnt.
Yeah.
The sun got him and he was fucked up. You know, they did a great job on the makeup because it was definitely he was wearing some heavy duty applications. You know that wasn't. You know, it could have been a little CGI involved in there too, but probably not too much.
No, probably not much.
Had a lot of contours and stuff and dangling pieces of meat and shit in it and stuff. So.
Right.
It was just I thought I wasn't gonna like it when he would use his powers, Renfield.
Mm-hmm.
But I actually it was a little better because it wasn't too much. They didn't go fucking hog wild with some Matrix slow motion bullet time fucking fighting.
I mean, he's jumping from like the ground floor to a third story balcony
in
from
real
time,
and it's a strike right off the thing. It ain't no like no $6 million man or anything. It just it's flying action and the sequences are fast, lickety split, and it works here. It's fine because he kicks at and it almost like it adds to it when he's on his power. He leveled up. You know, it's like Mario eating the fucking mushroom.
Right.
It's good. It was entertaining because it's some pretty good choreographed fighting. It ends with violent beheadings and arm rips off and everything, and just guts falling on the floor. It's cool. It's fun.
Yep. Yeah. No, I was questioning that too based on what we'd seen in the trailer. I wasn't sure how those scenes were going to go, and if they were going to go overboard with the bug eating thing, like. Was he going to be eating a bug like every 5 minutes to do something? So, and no, he's not.
No,
it's in key parts, and that's.
I was
about
also thinking specific bugs were going to be specific, like he'd be looking for specific strengths. But it is like that, but it doesn't really matter because each insect kind of essence gives him a little bit of power, where he can use it all the same kind of way.
Right.
Just it enhances him, makes him. It's like Dracula's powers. It unlocks Dracula's powers for a brief, run there. Let him get his shit done, and then it wears off.
I love the ant farm thing because as soon as I saw it, I was like, "We're coming back to that. That's going to be a callback soon."
You got room for one more? And it's just all gentle. He puts it right in there, and then give me that.
That was so great. That was so great, though. Phase. He saw it. He says, "Oh, it got a little nuts. It's fast paced. Yes, but nuts." Yeah. Was there a particular gory scene that you liked? I think that fight outside the little motel cabana area, or credenza, whatever you want to call it. That was probably my favorite.
That was cool, but what obviously made me the happiest was when he turned into smoke and went into the priest's mouth, and he explodes like a bomb hit him, and that was very satisfying.
James wants to know, was the movie worth going to see? And then a couple minutes later, he's heard us talk a little bit about it. He says, "That's my kind of movie." Then, absolutely, man. I think you'll enjoy the hell out of this.
It needs a few more views too. It got killed by
the Pope's Exorcist and Super Mario.
Else. Yeah, Super Mario. Yeah, like that thing. Took my son to see it on a couple days before Renfield, man, and that off of horror and everything. And if you're a Mario fan, go fucking see it. You'll have a fucking blast.
Right.
Adults, kids alike, because they cover your whole history of Mario. If you were in the old Nintendo back in the day, Super Nintendo, Mario Kart, Mario 2, Mario 3, all that shit, it's all mentioned and highlighted and covered in a nice cohesive story. Stunning. I'll give that a 9. It was that good.
Damn.
Had a blast.
But here's my thing, though. That's one of the reasons why I'm a little bit irritated that Pope's Exorcist and Renfield dropped the same week against Mario. Because then the horror fans got to split their time.
You already know the answer.
Yeah.
They don't give a fuck.
I know they don't, but...
that Renfield meant to be a tax write-off, I guarantee you. And we'll see. I don't know what it did this weekend.
I'll tell you what it did, actually, because I have those figures pulled up. Mario Brothers, domestically anyway, did 92 million. We'll just put it at that. Domestically, Pope's Exorcist did 9 million. Renfield did 8.
Okay.
And I don't think there was a international push for.
Yeah, there was for Mario. I don't know what the Mario one was. It was
for Renfield.
Renfield. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it hit yet.
It broke 10 million internationally. So.
Just 10. That's so 10 plus 9 or 10 plus 8 or just
2
total?
2 plus 8. 10 total.
Gotcha.
Pope's Exorcist ended up doing, I think, like 36, right? Yeah, 36. Hey. So it did triple the business internationally that it did here.
Yeah. That's not surprising, though. And fucking Mario, 700 million.
Then Mario did, Jesus. Well, it's been out 2 weeks, though, so that makes sense. So, yeah. 700 million.
700
almost.
Million.
Yep.
Think it made its budget?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure it's fine. Did Renfield make its budget? I don't know. That I don't know.
Spent a lot on CGI blood for that one.
Let me see if this will tell me what the budget was.
I don't know. I dug seeing Cage as Dracula. That, to me, is a high point for this film.
Right. Because
he is good. And as even though he starts off as Boris Karloff in a way, I love how they respected and tribute and tied those together. Like they want you to believe that this is the same fucking guy the whole time, which is great. It's a very original Dracula story that way. But they didn't hold back. They gave him his nice look too. I mean, Nicolas Cage is a nut anyway. He likes to go out there wearing cow pattern, fucking shirts and shit and boots with yellow pants and shit like that. So this is right up his alley when they started dressing him like a goofball in the, you know. But
wow. Well, the budgets are complete weird. Renfield's budget is $65 million. The Pope's Exorcist budget was $18 million. I thought those might have been like switched a little bit, but wow. Or at least, or maybe more even.
Where did they shoot Renfield?
That I don't know.
65 fucking million. What the fuck, man? I mean, there's the cast isn't even. Oh yeah, it's pretty big.
And Mario was $100 million movie budget. That's insane. That is insane, man. Luckily, we have people that are out there making films for $50,000, $100,000, but not Skinamarink. But yeah, some other movies.
I found out that Skinamarink's director and creator used to be a roadie for a local band around here. He's from Ann Arbor.
Oh, no shit?
Yeah.
And you want to get him on the show, don't you?
We probably could, because I know the guy, I know the band who he used to work for very well.
Motherfucker.
And
I'm sick that day.
But even my friend was all like, yeah. I was like, we're still not sure if this wasn't some kind of elaborate prank on the world, this movie yet. I don't know what's going on,
If that was the case, feel free to invite him on and announce that. I'd love to be a part of that, but yeah. I
don't think this guy is going on any fucking shows in the near future.
I can't talk about that. I can't talk about that movie to the actual director.
You could. It might be good. It's like, so have you always, when you were carrying guitar amps and everything, did it suck?
In this house.
Did you
I already knew what you were doing.
Did you lose picks everywhere?
In this house.
Yeah. That's enough.
All right.
It's enough of that for now. There was another little added surprise of someone in this cast that I had known previously, but I had forgotten until she popped up on screen. But Terrifier's own Jenna Cannell makes an appearance. Did you catch that?
I was like going. First, I was all like, boy, she looks like Jenna Cannell. And then I was kind of like, God damn, that's like almost the same picture I have on the panel thing we just made. Her hair's a little longer. But, and honestly, she says some very funny things in it.
Oh, she's awesome in this. Even though it's a short role.
Yeah.
But I loved her in this. And I'm glad to see her in a big studio film.
Yeah. Yep.
So,
congrats to her. For sure.
That's a note for Damien. Bring Jenna back somehow.
Hey, they're doing it all. Could have been. They're talking about bringing back Casey and Scream. The one that was crucified on the trees with all of her entrails hanging on an anthill, getting covered and devoured by ants, but somehow she made it.
No, here's what's going on there. Drew Barrymore is seeing all these people talking about Stu can come back, is seeing Hayden Panettiere come back, and she's like, well, I could come back too. You forgot. You smoked what you did 25 years ago away. You forgot what happened to your character. No.
You can't live without a long intestine. I'm sorry. You can't. You just can't.
BK wants to know, what was the band?
I can't say that right here. Ask me off the air, I'll tell you. You know him too.
And this guy was a roadie for him.
Yeah.
The Skinamarink. Jesus Christ.
I couldn't believe it either. And we had a nice discussion about it, where one of our mutual friends, she went and saw it, and she was all stoked because she's into that kind of thing, And she came out, and the text 2 hours later were, motherfucker, what the fuck? Don't even bother going to see that shit. Don't go anywhere near a theater showing that thing. She was upset. She was mad.
And she knows this guy too?
Maybe.
Or knew him?
Well, maybe, because like I said, that was, his getting into that band and his band getting to notoriety happened a few years after, or all of us hanging out in that group like that. So,
Yep. Exactly, Kiara. An annihilated body that comes back to life. Interesting. No, it's not going to happen unless she comes back as a zombie, which is not the same kind of subgenre as the Scream films. So move along, Drew.
just call Tommy McLaughlin, get yourself a nice cemetery, iron wrought fence, impale yourself on a nice rainy day. We'll see what happens.
We're not encouraging self-harm by any means, but yeah, sure, go for it.
On Drew Barrymore? I mean, what?
Well, no,
I
on
like
anyone, on
fine.
anyone.
She redeemed herself in The Wedding Singer, whenever that was, and
That was
many years ago. She's
Ooh,
endeared
many years
to me
ago.
from then. Yeah.
I still love Drew Barrymore, but I don't have to watch her anymore. So
Well, you don't have to
I
watch
like
her
her.
Scream anymore. That's just silly.
Exactly. I
just-
like her in the old roles. But
That would like tarnish the whole fucking. You know what I mean? Like it's like very much like bringing back, I guess, the Firefly family in Devil's Rejects. After,
it hurt.
it hurt a little bit. Kind of tarnished that glorious, beautiful ending of Devil's Rejects.
Right.
Did it not?
Yes. And we talked to Bill about that directly.
Yes.
And he was
He-
like, money
Money
talks.
talks. Money talks. And I just said, can't argue with that. Can't argue with that.
All right. Let's see here. No, but Jenna Cannell was a fun little. I can't even necessarily refer to it as an Easter egg, but a fun surprise to see because I had forgotten that she was in this. But it was good to see her in Renfield. What else you want to talk about with this movie? Did you
Well,
ever?
what?
Oh yeah, you did. The Pope or the priest exploding. That was your favorite.
Yeah,
part.
that was,
Mine,
Plus,
mine was the hotel fight when they're just tearing everybody apart, and
And
I
that's
love
where-
when he jumps down, and the guy's like hanging off the side or whatever,
Yeah.
and he just like breaks the body in half going down, and it's like,
Yep. And then it was just it ends in a 8.5 splash
oh yeah,
on the floor. It's nice.
that was magical.
Yeah, I mean, it's just there's a lot of it's just fun. It's fun that way. It's stupid. You don't need to bring your brain to this movie. Just bring your eyes, and you can watch it. It's just a spectacle. There's nothing,
Yeah.
aside from the little bit of trying to figure out who is mob corrupted. There's not really much to think about.
Let me hit this real quick because we haven't seen him in a while. Corey, what's up,
Hey.
man? Hope all is well with you guys. Excitement kicked in for me seeing updates to Eli Roth's Thanksgiving. Yes. I put it on the calendar today. Comes out November 17th, if I remember correctly.
Day before my birthday.
One more month. There it is. Yep, November 17th. So, yep. We will more than likely be talking about that one when time
We
gets
will be
close.
talking about Thanksgiving. Count on it.
The was the ending appropriate for you without spoilers? I guess if we can do that.
You know what? It's a bit clean, but I liked the jokes at the end.
Mhm.
Back in the circle, when dude was just kind of saying, "Oh yeah," just being so nonchalantly about things he might have seen, and
Right.
that was very funny. So, but yeah, I mean, I don't see a sequel. I guess that's a good thing.
No, I don't think so. I think this is a one-off from Universal. Now, might they do the same kind of treatment to other Universal creatures,
That's a good question.
like Bride of Frankenstein kind of thing? Are they going to do a comedy horror mashup of that in this kind of style?
I was surprised Van Helsing never was brought up.
Yeah,
in the whole thing, because they kind of stayed pretty true to the roots of the Dracula, the story and everything.
Yeah.
Bram Stoker and everything, but
Stoker.
I call him Stroker because somebody made a porno.
I know.
Yes, Bram Stoker, and right. So for me, it's always Bram Stoker from here in the skateboard.
No,
I don't know. I would. That would be interesting to see this style applied to the werewolf, the mummy, Frankenstein, creature from the Black Lagoon. Yeah, man, it would probably be pretty good.
How would we do that? Like the Bride of Frankenstein could almost just be like a sitcom style movie.
Well, if
I
it's
think.
Frankenstein, you probably got to tell it from the point of view of Igor or something, and some silliness like that. I don't know, man. It's this one was kind of the easiest, the low hanging fruit with these these monsters,
The werewolf, would his girlfriend or fiance be a veterinarian or something? Would that work? I don't know. Universal, call us. We're writing these movies for you.
They're gonna be like,
Be like,
oh, hey, Universal's on the phone, Crank.
Fuck you.
Exactly. They've already parsed out $35 million to somebody to write that script, and we just gave it to them for free.
Yeah.
Son of a bitch. All right. I don't know of anything else to really talk about with this one. You got a topic you want to delve into a little bit?
With Renfield.
By the way, Corey, we miss you, man. I hope you're doing well too.
Yeah, brother. In the end, this movie, it's exactly what you're going to think it is, but they do it right. Because it's not, they don't take itself too seriously at all, and that
right.
If they had tried, this would be a train wreck. This would be a complete waste of time. But since it's so light that way in the seriousness, it's all their shenanigans does work, and their jokes are come off pretty well. So,
I thought the comedy worked really well.
Yeah.
And as most of you know, I'm not a big horror comedy fan. So,
well, it isn't slapstick. It's more tongue in cheek this time around.
Yeah.
But that's fine. I mean, you couldn't do a scary movie like this. I mean, it's not a parody of anything. It's actually playing as a serious.
Right.
Dracula has 200 years later. So. It's really nothing more we can say about it. We got to give this baby a score, though.
All right. Let's score it then.
Because if we give anything, if we give anything else away about the plot, it's gonna ruin some of the laughs.
Right. No, I don't want to get too far into it.
No.
So yeah, go ahead, sir. Your score of Renfield.
Yeah, it's just like I said. You just turn your brain off. Get good and high, go in and sit down, get your popcorn and candy, and just ratchet in and watch it, man. And you'll start chuckling. I did, and it's got its problems, and there's gaps where it's kind of like, okay, come on, let's pick it up here. I mean, you go good 20, 30 minutes without even seeing Dracula at one point, but it's entertaining, and that's what it's all about. And it's dumb, but it's meant to be. And it's way smarter than like Slacks or any stuff of like that. Benny, Hug Me Benny, Love Me Benny, whatever that was.
Oh, I love Benny.
Benny Loves You.
Yeah, I love that one though.
But very, very stupid in what it is.
Right.
This is a little more. It's more of a straightforward movie. And I am entertained by it. I'm going to go 7 with this because it is worth a watch. And I mean, as a gore hunt, it probably would have been a 6 if it would have had less blood in it, but it did deliver on the gore for me, so I'm happy with that. 7.
It did. All right. I thought the movie looked great. Most of the sets and scenes were decorated and shot really well. Okay.
Let me say one thing. Did get a little annoyed with some of the goofy lighting. You know what I mean? Because I understand they got to kind of make them look pale and shit like that.
Okay.
And they were in the club at the one point. I get that too, but there were other times like when they were in the fucking circle in the meeting, the group.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a weird kind of greenish blue light in that, even, you know, it's kind of cast that up. Just it was a little like, what's all that about? And I was like, okay, they're kind of trying to light it like they did the Munsters and shit, you know. So whatever, I get it, but I did notice. So that's the one thing, just that kind of weird lighting in some of the spots. But I think that was to accentuate the monsters, you know. So
maybe.
Yeah. Proceed.
Okay. I thought this looked pretty good, regardless of the random lighting choices that Ziggy points out there.
Yes.
Now I can't take a drink. I got to talk. Besides a little bit of Nicolas Cage just being... Thanks, Ziggy. That's nice. Besides a little bit of Nicolas Cage being slightly over the top, I appreciated his role. I really liked his interactions with Renfield, Nicholas Hoult, and Nicolas Cage. Again, like I said, seeing Jenna Cannell in there was an added bonus. Seeing Ben Schwartz in there, I saw him in the trailer, but I didn't know what kind of character he was going to play. And I love the fact that he was just a ballsy, foul-mouthed asshole, because he plays that kind of character really, really well. And then to see some of the more serious actors in it. The mother mobster, Bella Lobo. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce her name because I will completely screw it up. But to see her, I remember first seeing her in like an early season of 24 when it aired, this actress. And she was great in that. She was great in this. But she's more of a serious actress. And to see her in this and pull off a couple of jokes as well, I love it when that happens. Dude, so far, this is one of my favorite movies of the year. I'll put it that way. It's only March. That'll change, I'm sure.
March.
Or April. But it's only April. I'm sure that'll change, I'm sure. I'll edit that in post. And, yeah, I'm giving this an 8 because I had way more fun with this than I thought I would. So, there you go.
I was probably cruising to an 8 on it, and then just at that little point, kind of, it's probably where FaZe was when he was kind of like, you know, what's going on? Let's go here. It probably, you know, kind of, it felt like the momentum we had built slowed way down at one point.
If you had to guess, where would Colonel score this? Because he's a big Universal Monsters fan. Not necessarily Dracula so much, but he does like the classics.
7.5 to an 8 from Colonel, I speculate.
You think?
Yeah. Just because, same thing. He would have been tickled by the gore, and like you said, he loves the Universal stuff, and seeing Nicholas Belagosi was pretty fucking cool.
All right. So a 7 and an 8. So that's probably one of your higher ones too.
I've been careful. I think the highest one I've given this year was Infinity.
Well, you gave Skinamarink a 9.5.
No, I did not. No, I did not.
All right.
Can't.
There we go. FaZe says, this is a pretty solid 8 for me, too. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. He says, despite being pretty fast-paced for most of the movie, it still felt longer than an hour and a half for some reason.
Yeah.
I saw this Thursday. Yeah, I don't know. It felt pretty quick, you know. I wasn't really...
Fuck. The last two I saw were an hour and a half now.
Yeah. Well, that's where they should be, or closer to that than 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
Damien.
Well, you know.
He's not watching.
He's not watching. He's in a con somewhere, traveling to one soon.
Or he's resting after one at home.
Yeah. I
Got a
think he was.
cigar
I
and
don't
his
know
feet
if
kicked up.
Damien was at the one. Oh yeah, he was at
Yeah,
Monster
they were.
Mania.
They were at Monster Mania this weekend.
They're on tour right now with that fucking.
Oh, they're somewhere almost every other weekend at least for the next 6 months.
They had to have their management say, "Everybody, fuck off. We got to write
Yeah.
the next movie. You know, that's enough. We're promotion's over. We're gonna do what we can, and we get there, great."
Tarek's here. He says, "Hell yeah, seeing an actor who's known for a heavy drama chew on a jokey script can almost double the humor." Yeah, I agree. All right. Yeah, so guys, go check out Renfield. Is it worth going to see it in theaters, or would you tell them to wait until they can watch it at home?
It's not a requirement to see it in a theater. There's nothing that is going to that your kick-ass TV at home can't pick up.
No.
So yeah, I don't think it matters. This isn't a summer tent pole, gotta see it, space flight, star spaceship battles or anything like that, or on the ground, Lord of the Rings, thousands of people fighting. It's nothing like that. It's just very small and simple, and a comedy with blood. And I can't even really call it a dark comedy because it doesn't really go.
Yeah, it's not. I wouldn't call it a dark comedy, but
it's lightly. I mean, just the fact that it's he's if you look at the plot description and stuff, the synopsis says finding meals, innocent meals for his boss. That's
right.
The darkest part of it, and then his twist on it was cool. Like I said, I like the setup. I like the way it was written, and it's just the one thing that bothered me really was like when he did leave Dracula and got his own life going and everything, but it doesn't really, you don't really get a sense for how long he was gone before he was showing up. He kind of was like, "Oh, you just ditched me," and he's like, "No, I was coming right now. I was coming right now."
Right.
I mean, but kind of looks like he spent a couple weeks getting this apartment and going shopping for clothes and everything. So, but apparently all this happened within a few hours on the one day. I
don't think it was very long.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Dracula needs to feed, I would assume, every night, especially if he's trying to restore. So
I don't know. He did the whole little montage of him buying an apartment, renting an apartment, going shopping for clothes and shoes and shit. So, I mean...
But I thought that was funny because it kind of reminded me of the old 80s montages that we used to get.
Yeah.
It was kind of a little throwback.
Just threw me off because I was all like, okay, now this dude's tipped him off on, because the mob goes and crashes Dracula's place.
Right.
That's how they cross paths and everything.
Right.
That's how they find out Renfield is the guy they're looking for. So, yeah. All right. I feel better about that now.
Okay. Tarek says, so worth a $4 rental from YouTube or something? Got it.
Shit.
It's not like we need to invest for a sequel. No, but, help out the box office for a horror film.
Give them their $8.
Yeah.
I sat in the VIP section, so I don't know.
Ooh.
Well, it's just, I like the enclosures on either side. Nobody can't see anybody looking at their fucking phone. It's great. You got to rub one out real quick before the trailers are done. You're all set. Even sell you a blanket now if you want.
I see so many people going to the theaters now with a blanket. Pretty sure the couple in front of me was the guy was getting a hand job at some point during the movie. But
dude, I mean, it's been 80 degrees here the last 5 days in Michigan, and yesterday was a little cooler, but today was really cool, like in the 30s, like high 30s, and they still had the fucking air on in this motherfucker when I went there today. So.
Oh, I would love that.
Well, I didn't mind it either. I had my hoodie on. I had long pants on and everything. But shit, at one point I did have to kind of click the seat to the middle section where it kind of gives you a little bit of warmth there, man. Because it was getting a little nipply in there.
I always have the back heat on though. That's like my spa day. Going to the theater. Faye says, my theater was playing Return of the King at the same time as this stream. I had to make a choice. You chosen wisely, son.
Regal Theaters, huh?
Are they doing those?
They're showing the Return of the King, which honestly, if I had a little more time, I would have considered it. I fucking love seeing that movie on the big screen. That's like
Oh, yeah.
that was back. Tarek would remember this. Back in the day, we were in Lansing working at a radio station, and when Lord of the Rings came out, Fellowship of the Ring, and we had a bunch of free passes for our stations and everything, and I got a hold of a couple, and I wasn't giving a fuck about that. I've read Lord of the Rings, but I was like, yeah, there's no way this shit is gonna look any better than what's in my head, what I envisioned when I read that shit. So
Right.
and holy crap, was I blown away. And so that was the next 3 years. Every December went. That was it. We were at that theater, man, and seeing all those next movies. So Return of the King was fantastic. I loved it.
Tarek wants to know, interesting point. I was wondering if they addressed, does Dracula need to feed every night or like every billable quarter? How does that tank fill?
He would prefer to be fed every night, but it doesn't always go that way.
Right. And he also mentions, we just discovered that for the D&D movie that the front row seats mechanically recline at NCG. Now that's my row every time. The front row, whew.
What, it like kicks back or you're like this?
Oh, if it leans way back, then game on. But
I remember that when I was a kid, that is where I darted to. Front row every time.
man,
Somewhere between like 17 and 20, it was all like, man, what the fuck? Can't see nothing.
well, and then once we hit 40 something, and then we're in It Chapter 2 in the front row
In an IMAX.
at an IMAX.
Well, we got there late.
Oh, that was painful.
That sucked. That took a couple of points off that score. The experience
Yes, it
of sitting
did.
in the theater, man. Fuck. Opening night.
And FaZe mentions, yep, some of the best book-to-movie adaptations, which is super rare. Absolutely it is. All right. Well, that's enough about Renfield.
Yeah.
So let's switch back to, there we go. I'll cover, no, I don't like that. We'll just leave us up here.
Care. Something. You can see it looks good. I still have
I love that picture, man. I didn't notice your...
I'm growing a beard. That's it. I'm going to get me a nice ZZ Top thing going. You guys can suck my dick. All right?
I didn't notice your rolls, as you say.
It's just like it was just. I get it. It's just that magical snap of the shutter at that magic moment when I was completely turtling back into my own body somehow. I mean, what the fuck, man? I didn't even think that was possible.
I wanted to ask you, since we have a little bit of free time here at the end, I wanted to ask you about this last week, and we never really got to it. But it was announced last week that American Horror Stories Season 12 is coming out strong. Going to feature Emma Roberts and Kim Kardashian. Is this the final nail in the coffin of American Horror Story, do you think? The casting of Kim fucking Kardashian.
Me personally,
Yeah. Well,
I
you've
don't
been
mind.
done with it.
I don't mind.
You've been done
Because-
with the story for a while, though.
Yeah, I mean, I tried to get into that last one. I couldn't. do
Uh-oh.
it. It was
No, I
it just
couldn't.
wasn't my cup of tea, man.
Yeah, I could not.
You understand. However, I'm not really hip to who are Kim Kardashian's fans. What type of people? Do you know?
They're the I don't know, the YouTube generation, the TikTok generation, I guess, if you would. I don't know why she got so popular. They had that show on E, and she made a sex tape with, was it Ray
Yeah,
J?
she
or whatever?
did anal sex with Ray J, and that got in the public. And she's a beautiful woman, I think.
Sure.
I think, I mean,
Sure.
but I've not seen one frame of the Kardashians. Nothing. I don't know anything about it. I've heard like buzzwords like bromance, I think came from their show, wasn't it? Wasn't Jenner's kids like hanging
No.
out with each other, and they started
Well,
that
maybe, but that term's been around for a while.
Yeah, well, how long has this Kardashian show been around? It's been
No,
a
but
decade, hasn't it?
it's been a longer.
Yeah,
than, it's
that's
been
what I'm saying. It's
longer
been at least 10 years. I remember that shit, and I remember it coming from that. But I've never seen it. I wouldn't go out of my way to find something that's going to be that annoying, because I've heard people go like, "What the fuck?" A lead guitarist in Exodus had a shirt made that said "Kill the Kardashians" when they showed up at a fashion rally wearing an Exodus T-shirt. So I get it, but I don't know enough about what they do, and I'm sure I do. They just sit around and bitch about their rich, money-filled lives, and something's wrong. They stub their toe or they break a strap on one of their $1,000 shoes or something. I'm sure it's all like that. I am not going to go seeking that out. That is not my fucking idea of entertainment. However, if she's going to go into this and give it a try, I'll say go for it. Give it a chance. I'll watch it. I'll see what you got. I will be brutally honest, and then I'll move on. I don't. It's not going to change my life either way. I'm not going to be enraged seeing Kim Kardashian in a horror show that I
a lot of people
appreciate. Huh?
A lot of people are.
I see that, but
the backlash has been unbelievable.
And that's what I'm getting at. I'm not sure. I don't know her fan base. Is it beer drinking guys, sports guys? Is it the people that would be adverse to their show anyway? I mean, what is it? What if she turns out to be a great actress or something? I mean, this isn't going to be. Hopefully, it won't be the same as the stupid goddamn thing that they do there, the reality TV. Which is scripted.
I don't know what it's going to be.
Yeah.
We never know,
We never know what even the plots are going to be. But I don't know.
Right.
I guess I don't care either fucking way if Kim Kardashian is on American Horror Story. I will check it out and do my due diligence as we always do. And again, I'll be honest with you guys. But yeah, I don't really give a fuck. I mean, call me Kane Hodder. I don't fucking care.
I'll try to watch it, but if she can't hold her water, especially with some of the other actresses, then I'll probably tune out. But I will give it a shot. I'm not gonna.
I mean, there's no curiosity. There's no anticipation.
It definitely does not amp up my anticipation at all.
And when it premieres, I will watch it, and I'm going in. I won't even have any preconceived negative thoughts because I don't give a fuck. I will see it and take it for the source material of what it is and what it delivers, and then I will review it.
All right. Well, Kiara says, never got into American Horror Story, but Kim K, seriously? Yeah.
Okay, Kiara, help us. What is it about them? Is it just because they're just pretentious, completely disconnected, never had to work a day in their life people that don't understand people like us? What is it?
I am kind of curious. But now, one thing I will say, though, I will applaud Kim for some of her efforts in the
anal sex division. No,
in that division. No, in some of the social justice things, like she has fought for, particular people, wrongfully imprisoned people, across the country, and brought a few to, presidents, and helped get pardons for some people that were very wrongfully imprisoned. So
okay,
kudos to her for that.
Using your stroke for good like that's commendable. Very cool.
That gets you some bonus points in my book, for sure. But to live the kind of life that they do, I besides that, I really don't have much respect for her.
Well, I think that's what it is they never can know or never will know how people in our world, in the real world, have to suffer sometimes. Suffering to them is when it rains when they're going to the fucking beach. You know what I mean? That's not the same. I mean, when you have no fear of not being able to pay your bills off and everything, you're free, man. Right. That's a freedom I can't ever imagine.
Kiara, I think you would like some of the seasons of American Horror Story, though. Go back and check some of those out. Especially the first 4 or 5, I think, were all good.
Oh shit! What was the one with the nuclear war?
Apocalypse.
Oh god, that one was.
That's later, but that one's pretty good too.
I like
But you
that.
you have to watch some of the other ones to really get what's going on in that
Just
one.
go with the murder house first, and you'll be
Yep.
good. Yeah,
Start with Murder House. I think you'll really like Murder House.
yeah. Because if you don't like that one, then you'll know you're not. This one's not
Sure.
for you. Because like that's pretty much that's the best stuff. I think.
Dave didn't get into American Horror Story. Let's see. Faye says it's very hard to say. Even the crazies in my generation seem to hate any Kardashian-related thing. Yeah, that's one of the things. They're almost like the Nickelback of reality celebrities. Everybody claims to hate them, but they've been on the fucking air for what, 15 years?
They're getting tuned into. Well, again,
Granted, it is E. You don't need that many viewers, but
I just think, like, for me, and then they added the whole Caitlyn Jenner thing, and that's all going on. I don't even know who's with what or who's going on, and
I don't care.
one brother was all on drugs and everything. I don't know, man, and
I don't know, and I don't care.
these are the things I have to overhear and stuff, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's great. I'm not in that world. I don't know.
When I do hear people talking about this, which is very rarely, especially anymore, but even 10 years ago, I would just turn around and walk away. I would go somewhere else.
Well, in both my jobs currently, there is nobody that would even think of watching that show.
Right.
So, I mean, there's no water cooler discussions on keeping up with the Kardashians.
Oh, but they're talking about Tom Selleck and Blue Bloods every Monday when they get back to the greenhouse, aren't they?
Tom Selleck and Blue Bloods. Yeah.
Is that what they're talking about?
No. No. No.
Oh, sure they aren't.
They're not watching the people I work with, so
No, okay.
probably watching. Well, never mind.
BK says, I thought Gaga did good in her season. Yeah, Lady Gaga's in Hotel, if I'm remembering it correctly.
Well, don't go comparing Lady Gaga to a Kardashian. I mean, Lady Gaga is.
I don't think he is. I think he's just
Talented.
talking about
Yeah.
American Horror Story seasons.
I mean, she's acted and she plays every instrument and she can fucking sing. I mean, and what can Kardashian do? Anal sex. See?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You gotta weigh this stuff.
Dave says, some people have a weird idea of entertainment. You think I'm a farthead? Actually, Dave, yeah, sometimes we do. We do think that. But that's okay. Because you fit in here.
Yep. Dave's head.
Tarek, God damn it. Tarek wants to see an American Horror Story that takes place in an alternate universe during the filming of the first season of MTV's The Real World.
Oh my God.
Ugh.
There's something there.
Let me ask you this. When you were in radio, did you ever have like The Real World and what were some of those other shows, the bus shows? Did you ever have some of those guys come through and do the morning show with you?
No, because we were kind of off the beaten path of where they would have gone through. You know what I mean? And it's funny, when I got to Kalamazoo, we did some of those. Like, somehow we would get these fucking big stars come to the morning show, and fucking Kalamazoo is the west side of the fucking
Right.
state. There ain't shit
Right.
going on over there, There's
Right.
no reason to be there. Like, if you're
But it's a
star,
good radio market for some reason.
I guess 100,000 watt station, and it's the number one. Yeah, they're not clearly not looking at the surrounding areas and stuff when they were going, but mostly sports guys. That's what I saw the most of that would come in. But I mean, like what, I don't know. I met John Tesh. I met fucking I
Did he play you a
I
song
was in Lansing.
on the piano?
You guys know me as a metalhead. I was on a station called Light Rock 99. Okay, I was playing the Backstreet Boys and Madonna. Okay, so yeah. And my camera just went off.
And you just killed your camera.
What the fuck's going on here?
That's because you have a face for radio, sir.
Oh, there you go.
What did you do?
I don't know. Hang on a second.
All right. I'll hit some of the comments then and save my story for hopefully when
Yeah.
he comes back.
I'm going to get out of here for a minute. Hang on a second.
I know. All right. Kiara says, I just hate them because they are rich people who got famous for no reason. Not that. However, I don't hate her to the point of rage. I just think this isn't her thing. I'd be surprised if she actually pulled a role on American Horror Story off. That's my thing. Ryan Murphy has been able to pull some great, great actresses out of virtual obscurity anymore. Jessica Lange, for one. Completely rebranded Jessica Lange for a new generation. And wow. But now Kim Kardashian. No. I think it's just a waste of Ryan Murphy's talents in a way. But that's just me. I can't remember if I showed this one or not. Tarek says, yeah, if someone gets famous for dumb reasons but uses their power to get some real justice, that's cool. Absolutely. And like I said, bonus points for that. Faye says, I Googled it, and I guess some leaked sex tape got Kim K famous for whatever reason. Yeah, the Ray J. Her and Ray J. Tarek says, disconnects are all over, though. A certain morning radio show personality Zig and I both know once legit complained on air that they couldn't break a 50 at a gas station. Huh. I don't know. Tarek says, I did enjoy the first couple of seasons of AHS, but there is an anthology gimmick that got boring to me. Yeah, it's getting there. James says, fuck yeah, Blue Blood. I like that show too, James. I actually just watched the most recent episode before the show. Tarek says, yeah, I saw... Oh, there he is. Tarek says, yeah, I saw Hotel 2. Gaga was great in that. And yeah, great talent regardless. Absolutely. You got everything fixed there, Ziggy?
I don't know what happened. It just everything just shut off.
You hit something.
I hit my desk, but I mean, my camera disconnected, but then my internet went off too.
Did you hit the magic buzzer?
I'm telling you, something happened, man. But like all of a sudden, I lost everything. Even the Wi-Fi was gone. You know, I'm direct connected, so
yeah.
Then it came right back up. So I don't know. Here we are.
All right, he's back, folks. Let me hit a couple more of these comments. Faye says, Lady Gaga is highly looked up to by many women. Yeah, by just many people. She's a talented person. And there was one that I need to hit for you, Ziggy, because you may be able to shed some light on this. Tarek says, disconnects are all over though. A certain morning radio show personality Ziggy and I both know once legit complained on air that they couldn't break a 50 at a gas station. Do you know who he was talking about? Or do you need to read that?
Let me clarify. Would it have been when I was still there, Lan? Because I do remember all the morning show hosts. Is it the AM station? The news station? If that makes sense.
All right. BK says the Kalamazoo is a big college town, so that may be why the Real World and some of those MTV stars were coming through, because they came through when I was doing radio too, and I got to interview some.
It wasn't really them; it was like Jeff Daniels, guys like that. You know. I mean,
these were like people that had stayed in like the not the Big Brother house, but the Real World house or whatever, and some of those other style of shows. I can't remember. There was one that was like it wasn't necessarily a dating thing, but it was like a competition, like almost like a Survivor style competition kind of thing, but it was with all these little entitled skanks, basically. They know how to party, though. I will say that, because I did go to party with them in my local town afterwards, but
well, see, the band
again, that was when I was doing radio.
The fucking bands were coming through when I was in Kalamazoo and we had the metal show there. And yeah, there we got, Jim Root from Slipknot. There we got Morgan Lander from Kitty. There we got Zach Wilde. There we got Max Cavalera. I mean, they were all coming in.
Okay. Tarek says it was Deb in the morning. She was talking like everyone carries 50s.
Wasn't
and then
Deb.
He says, sorry, Monica, not Deb.
Monica and Rich. And then, yes. Oh, yeah. I remember those two. And then Monica went over to the station I was at, FMK, with Danny Stewart. Lan, do you remember what the story when Danny was on the air and said, hey, we'll be right back, 99.1 WFMK. And then he started the commercials, and then all of a sudden you hear, fuck you, motherfucker. You suck my dick. Fuck you, you fucking asshole. And it's over the commercials, and I'm just like going, holy fuck. And then all of a sudden you hear him going, I pushed the button. I pushed it. I pushed it, man. Oh, fuck. Oh, shit. Oh, man. I'm fired, man. And then it went silent. Like, Ray Marshall must have been running in there and told him, shut the fuck up. Still on the air. Because dude was just dropping F-bombs left and right, and I was driving down 69 just laughing my ass off.
What was the wildest thing you ever did in radio on one of your shows? What almost got you fired but didn't?
Oh, God. This is at that station, too. Right after the terrorist attacks.
Oh, God.
9/11? Yes. I felt like I wasn't affected by that at all at the time. I realize now I was just as fucked up as everybody when that shit happened. And I went to work, and I was actually filling in on the middays because the midday guy was on vacation. Who was actually Danny Stewart, the guy I just told you about. He was doing mornings at that time.
And he mentions Danny here. He says Danny's ability to operate equipment in the studio. That's why he always needed someone else in there.
I love Danny too, man. He was funny. We had some really funny conversations in there. And like he was kind of prickly to everybody, but somehow we connected, Who knows? Maybe he was shitting on me behind my back. I don't know. But we were always cool face to face. Anyhow, we developed this song list, a playlist. Our PD put out a playlist. Like all of our cluster in the whole Cumulus chain, they ripped out all these songs, anything that had something to tap your toe to, and it was just a goddamn sob fest. Sappy ass, sad fucking songs. I was pulling my fucking hair out, man. I was losing my fucking mind. And you're allowed to switch a song here and there. And I don't know, man. After 3 days of this shit, I was like, I can't fucking play. What's it called? I don't even remember, man. This sappy ass. Nobody knows it but me.
But nobody knows it but me.
Somebody called and said, man, what the fuck? Can't you guys play something with a beat to it? And I was like, yeah, it has been 3 days. Why don't we go ahead? And I had Phil Collins coming up. It was another one of his sad ones, super sad songs. And I switched it out for Land of Confusion from Genesis.
Oof, yes.
Which, if you look at the lyrics...
kind of not big fans of the government.
Yeah, and what was going on at the time, and fire and burning and shit like that. And it was bad, and all of a sudden, I'm into the first verse of the song. My program director steps into the fish tank window into the studio, and he looks like he's about to, hang. He's about to jump off a cliff or something. He's just got a completely looking at me through the glass. I let the song finish, and he comes in. He's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" I was like, man, I just, everybody, I'm getting nothing but calls in here. People are fucking sick of this. He's like, listen, because we're sticking to this. This is we're doing 2 weeks of this before we go back to the regular stuff. So either that's what we got to do. And I was like, all right, man. All right. But later on, I found out our operations manager, Ray Marshall, had called up to my boss, the PD, in his office saying, what the fuck is he doing? And why the fuck aren't you in there stopping him? So yeah, that's probably the closest I got to getting fired on the air.
Faye says, I love Land of Confusion. That's one of the songs I sang at Crank's Karaoke, I think. I think it was. Yeah.
I think it was.
And James says he's got people looking at him in Walmart because this shit is funny. Let me see. All right, so I like to have local bands come in and just random people in general, especially come in on my night show when I did my night show. And I had this band in there one time. I think they were called Cunic at this point, but they since changed their name to Other Lives and are still pretty well respected in the like underground alternative scene. They started in Stillwater, and there was this one girl in the band named Jenny, and somehow the conversation got around to feet.
My internet is it's windy as fuck here right now.
Oh, okay.
So
No, it shouldn't.
I love everybody. If I'm not back by the end,
the conversation got around to feet at one point, and just as a joke, I asked,
look at his last name.
Yeah. It's they spell it with 2 K's though, Kunek, or they did spell it that way. Anyway, I got to the point where I was just like, Jenny, would you mind if, as we go to this next commercial break, I just suck on your toes for a little bit? And she was like, yeah, sure, no problem. And I was simulating, I wasn't, but I was simulating the sound as we went to commercial. I guess the next morning, the phone lines were lit up. And, hold on. God damn it, BK.
I saw that too.
LMAO, I'm an idiot. I was like, 2 Ks, Kunek? That's so dumb. No. Kunek. But no, I got called in because my night show ran from like 8 to midnight or something. Or sometimes even later if I felt like being a dick. But I got called in the next morning at like 9. And they were like, so what was the deal last night? What was going on with the show last night? I was like, I had the band in. We talked about their record, played a couple of their songs. You know, I think somebody said shit once. Ooh, I think we're okay that late at night to say shit.
Safe harbor past 11.
Right. And he was just like, well, I got a stack of, and he holds up like a stack of like, remember the little message books that you would tear out you'd have like 4 or 5 on a page, but you could tear out the little slips. This person said this, complaining about this. And it was a stack of probably 40 calls that they had gotten complaining about me sucking some girl's toes on the air. And I was like, but did they see me do it? And he was like, well, no, it's radio. And I'm like, exactamundo.
Theater of the mind.
And he was like, you can't do that. And I was like, dude, it was almost like making that noise, you know? It wasn't real. He was like, but you can't do that. And I was like, can't do what? And we had this, good night, Kiara.
Good night, Kiara.
We had this debate for a good 20 to 30 minutes of just like him saying, you can't do that, and me saying, I didn't do anything. Literally. I didn't even touch her. So there wasn't anything going on.
Like
now,
Stern shit, you know?
Oh, it was hysterical. But, yeah, that was probably the closest I ever got to getting fired. Yeah, there we go. You got it?
Yep.
Yeah. There was, you can't do that on television, and you can't ASMR on radio. This is true. Joseph says, sorry, guys. See you in the movie tomorrow. Just wanted to check in and say hello. Hello, Joseph. We're done talking about it now.
We're past.
Yep. Enjoy it.
Yeah, you'll like it, dude.
But yeah, that was my. But I can't remember who they were, but there were a couple of. There was like a trio. There were 2 girls and 1 guy, if I remember correctly, that was touring MTV on the bus, and I mean, I hadn't and I got thrown. It got thrown to me because I was like filling in for the morning guy, so I wasn't supposed to be the one interviewing him, but I pulled it off. Joseph says double feature with the Pope's Exorcist. I did that too, not with a different movie, but I saw Pope's the other night.
The other
enjoy
time,
both.
Yeah, the other time almost got canned. It's simpler. It's just playing. You know, we had the metal show, 11 till 2 a.m. Saturday nights. So we're completely in safe harbor for the whole show. So we cursed a little bit, you know, and it was okay. And then like I played "Killing in the Name of" from Rage Against the Machine, and that upset some people.
That too many.
Too many.
Won't do what you tell you.
Yeah, and I played it completely uncut, you know, and let it go. And like the PD was waiting for us the next morning, you know, when we walked in. He's like, "Listen," it's like, "I know we said we're in safe harbor, but if you ever," he was like, "Look at this." He goes, "Look at all these complaints. All come from sponsors and shit." So I was like, "Oh, sponsors actually heard that. What are they doing listening at Saturday at, you know, well, one of them, you know, 12 of the midnight and shit."
All the Kmart's are closed at 11 o'clock at night. You can't be listening to this. Yeah.
Well, it was a classic rock station. You get people calling in going, "What's going on here?" You know, and we'd be like, "Yeah, you know, after Saturday nights, we let our hair down a little bit."
Right.
He's like, "Well, put it back up." It's like, fuck, dude. You know, get the fuck out of here.
What a dick. Tarek, yeah, I saw Pope's Exorcist, yes. And James, yes. It was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's different a little bit, but I mean, let me rephrase that. It's pretty typical demon possession fare, but it's not bad. Tarek said, "Killing in the Name of always got calls and letters. My kids are listening at 1 a.m. Herder."
Yeah, fucking dumbass.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're done for the night, I think. Thanks, guys, for tuning in, as always, and hanging out with us for a couple hours and talking about movies and radio and whatever other random bullshit comes to mind.
Well, you know, like I'm saying, we got on a, you know, kind of sidetrack, but it sometimes spawns some pretty funny, good stories, you know.
I've been wanting to ask you about like some of your radio stories from time to time. This one just it fit.
There's a couple of good ones, man. Like the stalker was pretty crazy. That was nuts. I still don't know how the fuck they did that. You know, they put a Polaroid of me on my car coming out of the radio station. I didn't fucking see it. Now it was always dawn in the morning. The sun would be up, so I wouldn't have seen a flash. But it was a fucking Polaroid. I went to my boss and said, "All right, what are we going to do about this?" You know, and he was like, "You tell her this is crossing the line and you'll have to call the police if she does it again." So I just was real nice and said, "Listen, a little bit weird, you know," and she never called back again.
Damn.
Please don't come and take pictures of the staff, you know, and when they're not noticing it, you know, you want to ask for a picture, that's different, you know.
Right. Bizarre.
It was fucked up, man.
All right, gang. Yes, next week we are doing a review of Evil Dead Rise. And then, of course, we've got to do the franchise rankings now that there's a new movie to talk about. So, your homework this week is to catch Evil Dead Rise in the theater so we can all talk about it freely on Monday. And, bring your list also of Evil Dead, Evil Dead 2, Dead by Dawn, Army of Darkness, Ash versus Evil Dead is going to fit in there somewhere, and the 2013 remake, as well as Evil Dead Rise. So we're going to be ranking 6 pieces. We're going to rank Ash versus Evil Dead as one entry, though.
I grabbed my tickets the day they went on sale. I bought the first 2 in my theater for Thursday night at 9:30.
I've already got my tickets as well. I think for Thursday at like 7:30, something like that.
There's a huge buzz on this movie. I think it's going to be difficult to acquire tickets if you're wanting to see it first night. So get on that shit if you're wanting to go.
Oh God, Tarek says, "My God, one day when you're out of content, I need to bullshit about Mid-Michigan radio with Ziggy to everyone." And he says, "Wasn't Arthur Arthur P's last show on St. Paddy's Day because he got smashed on the air at an Irish bar. Drew had to take over when Arthur started calling some girls some very bad names.
Arthur P is a guy, and if you don't know who he is, like if you've ever heard of the Riff, got famous all around the States, even around the world. And Arthur P was our signature afternoon DJ. Yeah, the really deep golden pipes like that. And he would go, baby, you know, and that was his thing. And yes, he was a huge part of. Fuck, when I worked there in '99, this motherfucker was in his 60s already, and you know, he would still pound like he was 20. You know, he was a partier by the very definition. Yeah,
we got drunk on there. We got drunk on there a lot. So
well, when I went to fucking remotes for the Riff in Detroit and stuff, I mean, if I went with Ann Carlini, Meltdown, or Screamin' Scott, I needed to call a cab. Because I don't drink, and these motherfuckers made sure you were drinking the entire 2 hours or 3 hours we were there, you know. And then I had to pack up the fucking little booth and kiosk, all hammered and shit. Wasn't fun. But it was some good times, man. Some bad hangovers, but some great times.
Right.
And I saw that land. Yeah, I'd love to, you know, maybe we can record something, stories from the radio or something. It can become a new segment on Zigzag Zone or something, you know, because I think there are some hysterical things that were witnessed in that building in the 3 years I was there. And hysterical. And he was there for most of it. So he can corroborate my stories and mine his.
Yeah. but yes, folks. So Evil Dead Rise, a review and franchise rankings coming to you next week. Week after that, May 1st, will be another edition of Curse Your Luck right here. And we're gonna have a pair of tickets for the Morgue and Crypt Horror Fest in Albuquerque, New Mexico, available as one of the prizes. Maybe not the top prize. But
you were planning on being in the Albuquerque, New Mexico area the first weekend of July. Yeah. I guess it would be the first weekend in July.
Yeah.
Then yes, you'll have a chance to attend and hang with the DCS as we wreak havoc all over New Mexico in the Morgan Crypt convention, horror convention. First one, maybe the last one after we're done with it. Who knows? Yeah. Oh, hell no. It's going to be a great time, and we're just going to accentuate it, make it better. That's and right. You could be there too for free.
Yeah, for free.
Although air travel and
that's on you.
Accommodations not included.
Hotel and air not accommodated. Yeah.
Not accommodated.
Yeah, so if you are in the Albuquerque area and you don't have your tickets yet, or you need a couple extra tickets, sign up for Curse Your Luck, and we will get you on there. Gosh.
I know I had this fucking brutal, greasy-ass pizza before, like an hour before we went on, and I've been the whole night sitting back here.
All right. I guess I'll drop this little nugget of information, too.
Yeah.
So, also, May 15th, a couple weeks after Curse Your Luck. You remember several months back, I think it was November, when there was supposed to be an event up in Pennsylvania that did not go.
Oh, fuck. You got it.
Did not go, did not happen.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, fuck is right. It was being put on by, I think, a group called Horror/365, and it was Jason Takes PA. And it was going to be Kane Hodder, Adam Marcus, I think a couple other people.
They were the two highlight.
They were the main two, for sure. And then some vendors and stuff like that, and they were doing it one day thing, and it got canceled the day before the show.
Every vendor, every ticket purchase got fucked.
Well,
yeah, we'll see.
Allegedly.
We don't,
we don't know for sure.
Story goes.
But there has been lots of questions about the promoter of that event, a guy named James J. Haggerty, for those that are taking notes. And yeah, there's been lots of questions about this. So I've been trying to get this guy to come on and tell us the story since the Monday after this all happened. He's finally able to talk about it. But the man, the myth, the legend in his own mind himself, Adam Marcus, is coming on to tell us his side of the story about what really happened with Jason Takes PA. Why was it canceled the day before? How fucked did people get? How pissed off was Kane Hodder? That's the part I want to kind of know. And yeah, we're going to get all the skinny from him on that. And
Plus,
we'll probably talk about Jason Hearts of Darkness, the making of the Final Friday, which should be coming out later this year. So
maybe
you ready for that?
Maybe I can tease him and hook him for a future episode too on this Jason as a Deadite debate. It has to happen, dude, because it's becoming a pressure cooker. We've got to have it out at some point.
Well, okay, he's the director.
I know.
He's the one of the writers, so it's a done deal.
Yes, I know that, but I don't want to. This is a bigger fish to fry, really, in the scope of, because this fucks with our community, this fucks with our fans, this convention thing, and that's what I mean. I don't want to overshadow it by, devilish fun,
Right.
just tongue-in-cheek poking fun at his work and stuff, but. Well, it's something we need to get to in the future. But yes. I'm very excited that he's going to come on and finally shed the light on what happened out there, and then their heroic efforts to save the whole thing, man.
And they saved the event, at least for some. I mean, there were some people that had already jumped back on a plane and left. But yes, Joseph says, what? That's going to be interesting. Oh, yes, it is. And Tarek says, Adam Marcus, my body is ready for that.
Oh, that guy's got a motor too. He can talk and he can go, man. And
it may be a 4-hour show.
Yeah, it could go a while, man, but it's going to be fun. He's never short of thoughts or things to say, and it's always fascinating every time we've had him. So, I mean, this is great news.
And like I said, I've been trying to get this story told for a while. There have been some things going on behind the scenes.
Legal hurdles
that we had to get over. But now I guess it's time to tell the story. So, if you got fucked over by Jimmy J, make sure to tune in with us May 15th, right here.
Are we going to have the other guy that you were chatting with too that actually is one of the victims?
We may get something from him, but I don't know yet.
A statement, maybe.
Maybe just to let him send in like his story or something.
Yeah, just to balance out what we're saying. I mean, we weren't really there, but I mean, people are coming to us and going, "Hey, man, what the fuck? What can you do? Can you help us with this?" It's like, let's shine some light on it.
Right.
Let's get it out there so it can't happen again. Buddy, if you got the balls, Double J, whatever, you want to come in and try to represent yourself, I will give you that invite right now. You're going to have everybody to face that you fucked over. This is your chance to do it. If you see this, you hear my words, get a hold of us, buddy.
Yeah.
We'll be straight. We won't fucking burn you at the stake when you come in. You'll have a chance to speak your mind and clear this shit up. But
that's the thing, though.
Correct. You better come correct if you do.
But he won't.
That's
won't. The thing. He'll just lie and say, "Oh, everyone's got their money back," which no.
We already know, though. We already know. You can't do that. We know. You see, you can say that to the non-fucking not in the loop thing. We're in the fucking loop, whether you like it or not, buddy. So, I'm just saying, you want to have a level ground to come in and settle this and try to save some fucking face. You fucked with our community. It wasn't the other way around, buddy. Come on in.
And that's why.
I promise you safe passage.
And that's why, even though this happened last year, 5 months ago, 6 months ago, even though this happened that long ago, we're trying to make sure everybody doesn't forget. Because
absolutely.
Assholes like this will try to take advantage and do it again a year after everyone's forgotten about it.
He sounded, he's trying, he disappeared for a month or whatever, 5 weeks, and now he's trying to come up like nothing happened. He's doing fucking shows again. He's got a bunch of stuff he canned long before this shit happened because he had a couple of guys. Yeah, he had a couple of guys on and stuff. So he's trying to make everybody forget by getting some names, but it ain't going to happen, bro. You're going to be exposed. And now you've got the guys you fucked directly coming on. What are you going to do to that? Only thing you can do, come in and tell the truth.
That won't
We're
happen.
forgivable people. I don't think you can. I think you got caught, dude. Eat the crow, come in and do something. First of all, give everyone their goddamn money back. I don't care how.
Yeah.
Do that first.
Yep.
Is that you? offering a percentage that ain't you should have fucking known, and spinning it any way you want to. Yeah, dude, this is all gonna come out. It's coming out on the 15th, so we know, we fucking know. So you want to make it right, make it right. We'll be here. You're welcome to come in. I don't expect to see you, but you'll have the platform right here with the people you fuck. So It's up to you.
Should be interesting. But yes, so stay tuned, gang. We got a couple of great shows coming, and it's going to be fun. Last time, I want to thank our members, our final girls and guys, Chris, Lorraine, Christy, Luke, Charles, Tanya, and Tyrone, and our Crazy Ralph Raymond, and our camp counselors, Michigan Dave, S. Michael, Stacy Lynn, Orlando, Kiara, Canada Dave, and JJ. Not to be confused with the other guy.
Yeah. No.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah. No.
Where is it? There it is. There it is. All right. I'm off my buttons a little bit tonight. And yeah. So, gang, thanks for watching. We will catch you next week. And it's going to be fun. Evil Dead, baby. Where's your hat?
So excited. This is, I mean,
show your hat again.
This is the one I've been, I would say this and Salem's Lot were the two I anticipated the most that I wanted to see. So here we go. And still kicking at 96% on Rotten Tomatoes after several
screenings, yeah.
Pre-screenings, So yeah, this is pretty cool.
Yep.
I'm excited.
All right.
Evil fucking Dead, baby.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
Hail to the king.
Woo!
Just in the middle of a dream, I was kissing Valentino by a crystal blue Italian stream. But I can't be late, 'cause then I guess I just won't get paid. These are the days when you wish your bed was already made. It's just another manic Monday. It was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. I don't have to run day. It's just another manic Monday. I wish it was Sunday, 'cause that's my fun day. It's just another manic Monday.
Hey, Double J.
Fuck you!